well, and hope you guys are kicking. It's a very, very good Wednesday evening here in the heartbeat of Afrobeats, Lagos, Nigeria. And I know it's been a while that you guys saw my face, and I'm so excited to be back to share interesting news, interesting beats around the world regarding Afrobeats to be precise. And, every time that we step up here, every time that we come on here, it's always like a vibe. It's always very fun. It's always very informative. And you are absolutely our field. You are the reason why we come here every time to share interesting updates in the world of Afrobeats. So guys, without no further ado, I want to say this before we kickstart. Thank you so very much from the bottom of our hearts. Everyone here at Gusto TV Africa loves and appreciates your support, for your likes, your subscriptions, for actually really like just taking, this beyond the borders of the ends of the earth, right? So thank you so much for your support. Your support has been incredible, and we love and appreciate you. So there is major breaking news, right, coming from the stables of the FCs, and we have exclusive confirmation from the camp of Wizkid. And Wizkid has actually been in the spotlight for very interesting reasons. And one of the most interesting reasons being that he directed his own video. This was something that we were actually expecting to see, not in the light of directing, Sha, but actually killing it in terms of performance, right? In his music videos, every time that he does, music videos and stuff, he's always like killing it. His performances are always great. The way he emotes, always fantastic. His videos, obviously, always like those type of videos that you want to have to watch again and again and again and again. The replay value for all these things are actually amazing. And so big ups to his team for actually keeping up that energy. But this time around, Whiskey said, you know what, I want you guys to take a backseat for a while, because I want to actually be at the helm of affairs for the directing of this music video. Now, Kesa Dance is one of the biggest songs to come out of the Morayo album, right? And interestingly, we were not expecting to see, like I said, equivocally, that Wizkid will be directing that video. Matter of fact, I personally thought that it was going to be some type of introduction. Maybe we could have seen a a Perlix, probably, or maybe like a TG or Morayo actually direct that video, but Whiskey took us by surprise, and I guess you are as shocked as I am. But we have major breaking news coming from the camp of Whiskey, and Whiskey has announced tour dates for the Morayo tour. New dates, I beg your pardon, for the Morayo tour, and this time around, America, Canada, y'all gonna eat good, because Wheezy is in town and will be in town at the Madison Square Garden with a 19,500 capacity, and the Scotiabank Arena, which has about 19,800 capacity as well. State Farm Arena, 16,800 capacity, and the CFG Bank Arena, 14,000 capacity. Now, a lot of people have actually been waiting for this major announcement, and we are quite excited to see that Wizkid has actually said, you know what, this tour is going to be one of the best tours you're going to experience. So tickets are officially going to be out on sale. And guys, since this announcement actually popped out, it's been quite intense in terms of the conversations, in terms of people actually really gearing for this amazing, amazing time with Machala himself. And you know what? I feel, and I know for a fact that he's going to come correct with everything that's going to happen on this tour, right? The album has dropped. A lot of people actually love this album. Yes, there are a few talks here and there about the album not actually living up to the expectations. I mean, that's actually expected. But one thing is sure, Wizkid has taken his artistry to a whole new level, and people, Afrobeat lovers, people, even on the opposing side of the FCs, are actually really, really quite interested in what's going to happen with this tour. And a major announcement popped out. I saw the video for the announcement of the new tour date, and it was actually really, really cool. I think that it was quite like something they did the time that they shot the Kessa Dance video, because I could see some of the what they call them, some of the models on that video. in that video, I beg your pardon, I saw some of them actually participate in the release for the official announcement for the new tour dates in America and Canada as well. So guys, are you anticipating this one? Do you think that this tour is going to be the mother of all tours? Do you think that Wizkid has the capacity to hold it down and hold the fort in terms of performances? Remember, every time we talk about performances, there's one person that readily comes to mind, and that person is Odogu himself. The way that he carries his craft on his head, the way that he actually really, really delivers in terms of performances, and the way that he takes care of his art and his artistry. So that's one very, very huge debate. Is Wizkid going to match the capacity, the energy, the mindfulness, the thoughtfulness of Odogu himself? Remember, Odogu just had a performance recently in Trinidad and Tobago and went with his whole band and his whole gear. Are we going to see something like that from Wizkid? Are we going to have the time of our lives with this Morayo tour? Guys, put your comments in the chat box, and definitely we'll be right there to respond to every one of it. We like to see your comments. So guys, keep pouring it in. And one person on the other side of the spectrum in terms of doing amazing things has to be the one and only Omar Baba Olowo, Davido himself. Now, Davido has actually been quite the most excited about the release of his own project. I've never really seen a time where any artist has been this excited about the release of a project. A lot of people are saying, yeah, I think he has a point to prove, right? Because Wizkid, one of his I don't want to say arch enemy, but one of his rivals has actually delivered a project in the name of Morayo, and Morayo has actually been that project that a lot of people have talked about to be quite decent and very amazing for the FCs. Of course, they would say is the best project to come out of Afrobeats yet, in terms of what we see now regarding albums and projects. But Davido has actually really been up there in terms of delivering exquisitely great music, great albums, amazing jams, and he's been quite really like very smooth with the PR strategy for the release of his project, right? So Summer Jam tickets are officially out because he's going to be at the Summer Jam and he's going to be headlining alongside Vibes Cartel, Shensia, Beanie Man, Morgan Heritage, and a whole lot of different artists all over the world. So it's quite amazing for Davido. And remember, a couple days ago, we saw Davido's Kante being included in the Apple Music for His Majesty King Charles III. He had a playlist out, and that one is absolutely a classic. I could see the way that King Charles was talking about Davido and saying, you know what, he's making me fall in love with Pidgin English and all of that. I really want to learn the language and all that stuff. Amazing, amazing, amazing feedback from the king himself. And that kind of like really repositioned Davido into the space as one of the kings of the Afrobeat movement. And a lot of people have said, oh yeah, King Charles chose Davido over Wizkid and na. It's a lot of conversations. Comparison will definitely pop out. If there's any time we talk about Davido and there's no comparison with Wizkid, Burner Boy, or the most amazing Rema, say conversation never really start like that. But it's quite amazing to see that the classic Kante featuring Faith herself, and Faith has actually been thriving off that one. You see how she's glowing on the internet, and she's really, really loving that one. So great showing for Davido regarding Kante, which was chosen by the king himself in his Apple Music's playlist. So yeah, Davido also, worthy to note, is one of the most phenomenal artists to come out of the stables of Afrobeat. Whether or not you like him or you actually like him, this guy has actually really proven to be one of the most respected artists in terms of everything that he has done for the Afrobeats movement. Let's take some stats, right? So he's the first Afrobeat artist to get certified in the RIAA. He's the first Afrobeat artist to partner with a global record label. Of course, he's also the first Afrobeat artist to be featured on the FIFA World Cup song in 2022. First Afrobeat artist to perform at the FIFA World Cup, and that person, FIFA World Cup final, I beg your pardon, and that person is Davido. First Afrobeat artist to have a song certified in gold in the US and Canada. First Afrobeat artist to win the BET Best International Act with Live Performance in 2008. First Afrobeat artist to have a double certified song in RIAA. First Afrobeat artist to be featured on a major Hollywood soundtrack in 2022. First Afrobeat artist to shut down the O2 Arena with 20K capacity. That person is Davido. First Afrobeat artist to own his own festival, Davido and friends. First Afrobeat artist to have a song cross 100 million and 200 million views on YouTube. First Afrobeat artist to receive his BT award on stage. First Afrobeat artist to have an album back 3 Grammy nominations, Timeless by Davido. Yeah, a lot of people say he didn't win the Grammy, but yeah, 3 nominations, that's good. That's pretty fair. First Afrobeat artist to shut down State Farm Arena twice in a row, and State Farm Arena is also going to be one of the venues where Wizkid is also going to have the Morayo tour. So most followed Afrobeat artist on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. Now, I mean X. That person is Davido, etc., etc., and the list goes on and on and on and on. Well, it is what it is because one thing we cannot deny, one fact that we cannot deny is that Davido has actually really, really, really leveled up. The way that he's actually really gone about, his art from the time that he's actually popped into the scene to where he is now as an artist is quite amazing to see. So big ups to him and big ups to everyone who has been a part of his success. Big ups to everyone who has taken care of this man to actually grow so big to be one of the best Afrobeat artists to actually surface on earth. Big ups to Fela himself for actually pioneering the movement. So it's good that we're seeing all our artists strive, from Wizkid to Davido and to Burna Boy. And one person that has interestingly been one of the biggest talks or the rave of the moment has to be Asake, Mr. Money with the Vibe, right? So Asake, I don't know what to say about Asake, because the way that he is actually like lip frog, right, to just being so demure and so well packaged, it's quite a case study, right? So it's no news. He's left the YBNL camp. He's now on his own, started the Guinean Republic movement, which has actually grown from leaps and bounds. And the way he's really like moved, there've been a lot of conversation about how he's changed himself so much and delving into the American market and all of that stuff and all of that stuff. Well, it is what it is. Change is inevitable, and we're humans and we're definitely going to embrace change however it is that we deem fit. And right now, Asake is actually set to headline Yatland Fest in Paris this July 2025. And Asake has actually really, really grown to be one of the artists that has actually been in the lips of everyone who cares about Afrobeat or good music. Well, from actually just, teasing new music to dropping Wild Love, that a lot of people actually bashed and said, this guy, I think you've lost your juice. I think you've lost your essence. But I mean, Wild Love is still a great jam. And a lot of people are actually still feeding off the energy for Wild Love. But right now, Asake is going to be in Paris to headline the Yatland Fest, and he's going to be there with alongside different artists: Gazo, Tequila. Sorry, I beg your pardon, Tiakola, Al Merrill, Prince Wally. Amazing time at the Young Lad Fest in 2025 July. Guys, are you anticipating all of these things happening for the Guinean Republic president? But guys, let me just ask you this. Let me circle back a little bit. Do you think that Asake will actually thrive being on his own as an artist? And guys, I have something exclusive for you guys tonight. Make sure to check our YouTube channel because we have something quite interesting dropping tonight, and I don't want you guys to miss it for any freaking thing in the world. So guys, stay tuned because something is going to drop today and you're going to really, really love that one. So you know what? One of the things talked about again is the way that Asake has really, really like taken care of his style. We know him to be a very quiet, like stylish person, right? So, but wearing female boots, this is something that we're not expecting to see. So he granted an interview, not like an interview, like a get ready with me type of video. And he said when he was getting ready for this whole Casablanca show, he said that he picked his boot from the female section. That's quite audacious to say the least. But I mean, it did actually work. So yeah, big ups to Asake on that one because he looked amazing on the night for Casablanca. Well, it is what it is, and wish Asake all the best because he's actually teased new music. He's been hanging around Eva a lot, and a lot of people are talking and saying probably they're dating for that. Remember, we saw him with another lady, and this time around is Eva, and people are talking. People will talk, but Ashake loves the attention, and this is what he lives for. Anyways, moving swiftly to Odi himself, Odumodu Black, who a lot of people see as very controversial. Keypad warrior, the caps lock guy. Every time he tweets in cap, in caps. And this guy has actually, for the past few days, been in the news for not so very good reasons, right? He's been criticized, he's been dragged. People are dragging him because someone called him out on a particular song and said probably he did not think that he was actually rapping on that record banging song with Charlie Poppy cast. And from that period, Odumodu has not taken it lightly at all, and he has gone on a charade of tweets, barrage of tweets, back and forth, and all of that has just been happening. But right now, the way he's really gone about promoting this new coming album, right? The industry machine, right, has really like taken this whole thing to a whole new level. He's been to Arsenal, hung out with Arsenal stars. He's been to Nottingham Forest, hung out with Nottingham Forest stars. Now we've seen him pictures with Liverpool superstars. And the way he's just really like promoting this album, and of course, Van Dyke was holding out a T-shirt with the industry machine. The machine is coming, and all of that. I mean, it's just really beautiful to see. So big ups to Odumodu Black, who has just tweeted and said, "Vinicius, don't text me at the Go Bernabeu. Una go cry blood. Kai the machine they come true. Anyways, pardon my pigeon English there. I know it wasn't smooth, but I mean just manage as they go. Anyways, are you guys anticipating this album? Because one thing is for certain, rap is like fading off, and a lot of people are talking about the not so very good attention being paid to the rap scene. But right now, Odumodu is taking this thing a top notch higher than it has ever been, and we're really waiting to see how this one is gonna pan out for OD himself. Guys, are you anticipating as much as we are? Well, to not so very good news. One person that has actually really um been in the conversation for several years has to be Mohbad, right? So Mohbad, quite a tragic way to end his life. Such an amazing guy, such a bright star, and the way that his life was just cut short is some mystery that we're still trying to unravel. But we know all the basketballs, all the back and forth has happened with all of these things. I don't want to really go too deep into it, but his wife has come out to say there is no justification for why his body is still lying in the morgue. Mohbad's widow Wumi pleads with her father-in-law to let them bury him. So it's just been a lot of back and forth. I seen even me say I'm tired because I don't really know what to talk about this issue anymore. But I really hope that they sort it out because it's been years that this thing has happened, and it seems like the family is things happening. I feel like Mohbad deserves a rest. He really needs to rest in peace because from autopsy to exhuming to not be to being buried quickly to not being buried quickly, it's just been a lot of back and forth, and we're really exhausted. Now she said, to the general public, I'm pleading with you to help me ask my father-in-law to let me bury my husband. There's no reason, no justification for why his body is still lying in the morgue after all this time. No reason why the man I vow to love forever has been left in the cold storage, denied the dignity of a final resting place. My father-in-law is not keeping him there out of love or grief. He's holding on because of the attention and money he continues to receive. He knows that once my husband is finally laid to rest, the public sympathy, the donations, the sudden fame he has found will disappear. He's dragging this on not because he seeks justice, but because he benefits from my husband's death. Anyways, guys, how not see this one? Because Wumi is actually coming out guns blazing and talking her talk. But I really think that the one person that does not deserve any one of this is Mohbad himself. From the family going back and forth, court judgment, exhuming, not exhuming, and all of that stuff is a whole lot of mess. But we just hope that all these things are actually really resolved and everyone can genuinely move on. Let's take some comments. Talk with Nene says, I'm glad she's speaking up. The father in law was quick to bury Mohbad the first time. So why the delay and the excuse now? Why the delay and the excuse now? Well, it is what it is, and that's what a lot of people are actually still, still saying. They're saying the same thing and saying, why is all this delay? Why is all this delay happening? And then Paul says, my dear, not talk too much before they start suspecting you. Anyway, it is what it is. But guys, what do you think about all these things happening in the family of Mohbad? And I honestly think that Mohbad deserves his rest and should actually rest in peace. And of course, Best Larry says this is very bad. Let this guy rest in peace. And now to wrap up the news this time is Omolalomi himself, Portable Zazu, who is celebrating his birthday today. And we are all excited for him and we wish him a happy birthday. We wish him all the best. And we just want to say, continue to sow and continue to cause big because this is something that you absolutely live for. And we cannot wait to see all the goodness pop out from Zazu himself. And guys, I really don't know, but if you as a person actually have to encounter Zazu himself, would you really like to sit down with him to have a conversation? Because I know this guy is one of the most interesting figures of the Afrobeat in the Afrobeat scene. I beg your pardon. I really love him, and for me, I think completely to me, and I really, really loved the fact that he released that song at the time that it came up there. You know, I just got sold onto his artistry, and I didn't think that he was actually going to go on to be successful as much as he has done. But big ups to him and happy birthday to Zazu himself. And guys, this is where we wrap up the news this time here on Gusto TV Africa. Guys, thank you so much for joining us, and I hope that you've been informed. Guys, are you looking forward to the Morayo tour in the US? And if you are in the US, are you willing to spend your hard-earned money to go and watch the one and only Machala Wizkid perform in the different venues that he has actually spotlighted? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section, and I'll be right there to respond to every one of you. Thank you guys so much for joining me on the evening drive. And guys, I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow, same time. But please be on the lookout for something exclusive, something fresh on our YouTube channel today because something hot is gonna drop. Guys, thank you so much, and I'll catch you guys next time.